Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're on this Monday morning. Got a big show lined up and a big week lined up. And hopefully it's going to dry out for a couple of days, and we'll just see what's going to be happening toward the end of the week. But we've had a lot of rain last week and last couple of weeks, so hopefully it's going to dry out. High today 51, low 34. Pretty chilly today, and water temperature is all the way down to 59 degrees still. The moon phase, we're in that waxing phase. Our Monday moon forecast, when I talk about a moon, it's waxing. Got a full moon coming up later on this weekend, and then after that we got a new moon coming. So next week now is going, after Christmas and all, there's going to be some good dark nights. So our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is Monday, December the 17th. 1 week from today, we're looking at Christmas Eve, if you can believe that. That's hard to believe. A low tide at 8:33 and a high tide at 6:07. Got a little bit of neap tide coming on for the next couple of days, but it's going to be picking up. Marine forecast will be coming out of north-northwest at 5 to 10. So that's our weather for today. Let's take our break. We'll come back with our special guest. Welcome back, folks, and welcome to a good friend of ours, a great supporter of outdoors, Ronnie Groom.
Good morning. Good to see you, buddy.
Great to have you back. I called him and said, Ron, you got to come back on because it's Christmas. This is the last week of shopping, and we just haven't been doing any shopping. We hadn't had time. So I said, Ronnie, bring some stuff on, and we still got so much more to talk about. So how's everything going?
It's going good, and it's critical, especially if you're talking about firearms now, because there's delays. You got to wait 3 days, and if you got one ordered and coming in, you got to wait on the postage, and you got to wait on the 3 day, and if you don't get it early, there's going to be some disappointed people. So all your gifts, you better get going.
Yeah.
Who am I to talk? I haven't done anything.
Yeah, I know, but you brought that up when we were talking on the phone about the guns, and I'm so glad you mentioned it because that will sneak up on people because you got the weekend.
And you have to have a record check, but the day you buy it does not count. Saturday and Sunday and holidays don't count, so those don't count.
So it's business days.
That's right, business days. So it's real critical if you own a firearm. Plus, the supply is going to dwindle here right before Christmas, and it's hard. Some of the guns are very hard to get, and if you're going to get in a firearm for somebody, you don't want to disappoint a little youngster when he's expecting that.
I know it. Well, I had a guy call me to get your phone number the other day. He called me out of town. He said, well, you got Ronnie's number, I got to get a gun. So he had it. I guess, you got to go and do that. So I'm glad you brought it up.
That's right.
And there's always everything from little things to big things you have. I get a kick out of all this. This is
we
good
brought
stuff.
A few little things here. Knives. One of the best things you can give is a knife. That's a common thing, and everybody always needs one. And the men, we never get too many. I got piles of them. And you can get all kind of knives, like this little Wanger here. It's got everything, scissors, screwdrivers, anything you want on it. And it's a good little gift. And you can buy knives for $4 or something for a youngster or something. That they're not expensive. Or you can get something, like this this case knife. It's a pearl handle, and that's a high-end knife.
That's not a $4 knife there.
No, sir, $4.
Towards the camera.
Yeah, tilted. Yeah. That's an expensive one.
Yeah.
Boy, let me see. Can you see, Jeff? Is that showing that handle, that pearl handle like that? That's amazing. And
for the hunters and the outdoorsmen, knives like this, this is a Browning knife, and it's a very good knife, and it's easy to sharpen, and it's not real expensive either. But they're good knives. But knives are always a good gift. And
while you're talking about knives, let me interject and interrupt you here because we started years ago with my little grandson, getting him a little knife. And so every Christmas I get him some kind of different knife, and he just got a little collection. It's something special to him. So
I've got a grandson who does the same thing.
Do you?
Just get him a knife. He doesn't care how little or how big. It doesn't make any difference.
They're cool.
Another thing that we sell a lot of is books, and this one is Dr. Bob Shepard. He wrote this book on deer hunting, and to me, it's the best book on hunting. It's realistic, and it'll advance. If you're not a hunter and you want to take up deer hunting, this will advance you about 5 years over to learning on your own.
I want to again tell you, I've read this book. I met when he was down at your store. I met him. I read this book. It's phenomenal. We were up at Walter and Wendy's, and they got a farm 45 miles outside of Nashville and got a log cabin on it. And this book right here is sitting on the coffee table. And Walter reads it religiously. He's killed some nice bucks doing exactly what this guy said.
This is a book that you read more than once. I mean, every time you read it, you'll pick up something.
Yeah.
And it's like the book that you wrote, you know. That's one of our largest sellers is the book that you wrote.
You still got some now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The history of fishing in Panama City, and that's a good book. And people that like to skin dive and all, we've got the diving book too. And
tell them who that guy is on the right-hand side.
I don't know that guy.
Hold that up to let people see. This is young Ronnie Groom. People don't know. That's a young Ronnie Groom right here. He was a pioneer. So he was truly a pioneer in the diving around here in the Florida Panhandle. Ronnie's one of the first ones. Amazing stories.
Another good gift is game cameras. We've got a few that the packages got wet on them, and we're selling them at a discount price. And game cameras doesn't hurt them get wet.
No, it's going to rain on them anyway.
So that's a good thing. Gunslings. That's an item that you don't think about much, but all the hunters need a gunsling.
That's the truth.
You know, because you got more than one weapon, and so you need slings to
put your bullets in there?
Yeah, this one will hold the bullets. You can carry 3 extra bullets. You don't have to stick them in your pocket.
I like that.
And you know, little stocking stuffers like these hand warmers, toe warmers. You know, they work real fine.
They work.
On cold days like we've had recently, those are really nice. And another item I brought that's really good for the outdoorsman is this thermocell. Keeps these mosquitoes off of you, and it actually works. And you know, you're familiar with them.
Yeah, we use them. We use them a lot. They're ideal. Put them in the bow down a tree stand.
Yeah, they really work good. And one last item I got here, just as an idea, is this trigger stick. It's what you prop your gun on, you know. This is a monopod, and then they make a bipod with 2 legs and a tripod with 3 legs. And it's compact. You can carry it with you. And if you're into accuracy, you need to carry something like that. I mean, it's really important to have a rest to lean on. And
well, if you're taking that long shot too, you've got to have all the steadiness you can get. And I have one of those too. And I don't go to my ground blind. It's ideal for ground blind. And I firmly believe all this stuff. You know, this is stuff. That's why I want Ron to come on. This is outdoor stuff. This is the real deal right here.
Yes, sir. And you know, the peak of the deer season is coming up here in January and February. Yeah. So it's really time to get started. You know, we've been hindered with the storm, but that's over now, and it's time to get on down the road and let's get out and enjoy life a little bit.
And you're exactly right. And you always mention about gift certificates.
That's the main thing. I think so many people buy things they don't really need or want, but if you give them a gift certificate, they can add a little money to it and get an expensive item or a less expensive, and you can get it for any amount, and it's good. You know, you can't. It's there for a year. You can use it, and I really recommend. I'd rather get a gift certificate than anything because I can go get exactly what I want.
A lot of us have just about everything, but I still like to get it. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So Ronnie Groom got a big week. We're gonna have a couple of dry days. We might have a little bit of rain later on, but we were talking about the rain. What, you know, as you were coming in, you and I were talking about how much rain. Tell the folks what you told me.
Well, you know, I've been here a long time, and I can tell you, I've never seen the water like it is now. The water level's high. We got roads underwater now in places that you can't even go, and it seems like it doesn't let up.
Yeah.
I'm ready. You know, if it didn't rain for a month, I'd be tickled.
I know it. And the ground is just saturated throughout the Panhandle. I talked to some guys up there that live around these sandhill ponds, and they're way up. They're connected. All the ponds are connected now. And I'm hearing all kinds of stories. But you're right. We just had a tremendous amount of rain the last month or so. Got a couple of pictures, and we're talking about, you know, everybody's going to stay optimistic with outdoors because that's our sort of outlet. And we're going to do some things. And some folks already. Blake Sutherland, a couple of days ago, he said, "Good to get back after it." You know, they went out. They caught it nice. They had some grouper here, and some snapper. They had a nice trip there. Some beeliners.
Freshwater's been good. You know, the crappie and the brim.
What are you hearing down your way?
It's been good. The people are catching catfish and things like that. Freshwater, you know.
we showed a picture on Friday's show from Tess Randall Jolly. That name should sound familiar now. That's our photographer friend from Seopa up in Tuskegee. She sent this one too. This is on their farm. This bear, there's a carcass there, and this bear was eating on it. That crow tried to get some of that, and that bear was chasing the crow off. that's pure nature right there. And you know, we talked about a couple of announcements too. The Northwest region, we got some of the wildlife areas open and some closed. And St. Vincent Island, it's closed now, and they didn't have those hunts because of the storm. And I can imagine all those trees being blown back and forth there.
Oh yeah, plus all this rain and bad weather, it gets so rough out there in that bay, you know.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to go to St. Vincent.
That's a tough trip. It's tough in good weather.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm gonna try to go next year. You want to go with me and camp out over there again?
I doubt it. I used to go every year.
He was one
years.
of the first ones to go over there and do that camping trip, and way back in the '60s.
It started out with just a hog hunt, you know. Man, that thing was covered with hogs. Yeah. It's very good hunting, and it's a beautiful place. I just love St. Vincent.
It is a special place.
Yeah.
I really am going to try to go next year. And but anyway, also Tyndall Air Force Base is closed right now. Latest word. Apalachicola has some places closed, and but just go online and check, or either call and check. And the state parks or some of them are still closed, so be aware of what's going on with those. I did want to mention they've already set a snapper season for next year. I've got it right here from FWC. Under the current drought, it's a draft proposal, but go ahead, let's go and put it here. The Gulf season would be from June the 11th through July 12th. That's a whole month there, and it may be a possible fall opening if they keep up with the catch, or if the quota is not reached. So that's go ahead and start planning your snapper trips. I know some of y'all, including myself, we go on some charter boats and all. And that June 11th, usually it's like the first week of June, not the second week of June. That's gonna might mess up our schedule, but we're gonna plan on going. So all kind of good things going on. We'd mention too, one of our mutual friends, Stan Kirkland. You know, he went to Auburn University and majored in the School of Forestry and Wildlife. I just want to share this with you because so many of y'all, we try to encourage young people in doing different things and all, and especially in the outdoors. And this right here, this is, I got it on the screen right here now, School of Forestry and Wildlife at Auburn University. This is a world-class program. This is one of the top programs, and this one, Texas A&M, University of Georgia, University of Florida that's four great programs for people who want to go in the outdoors as far as their career. Now, when we're at Seopa, this young lady was there, and Gail and I got to meet her. She had lunch with us and dinner, and she is working at Auburn. She's an Auburn graduate, and they've got a new program that's sprung off of this. Okay, and this new program, let me see if I can get it right here. It's called, look on your screen there, it's called Wildlife Enterprise Management. And she gave a little talk to all of us journalists and all, and what it is to encourage people to go in a career of outdoor managing hunting clubs or just guide services and putting business.
It's a tremendous field out there. You know, there's no end to it.
Well, she said they started doing some research on it and checked with their graduates and all. The graduates were working with forestry and all kinds of stuff, and those graduates were sort of branching off into it naturally. Yeah. And it's such a big field, and we were excited about it. In fact, she had planned on coming on the show. She and her husband were going to come down and come on the show, but somebody got in the way named Michael. So hopefully we'll get her to come down, but I'm gonna leave. I tell you what I'm gonna leave. I got 4 or 5 of these. I'm gonna leave this here on my desk. If you know of some young person interested in something like this, it's a fascinating career, and you can run down and pick it up. Or if not, and here's a curriculum. There's a big old curriculum here. They've got it mapped out for you, and I was really impressed with what they're doing up there. So I want to. And you know, a lot of people make a living off this.
It's a great field, you know, you're outside, and it's something that somebody like you or I would really love to get into.
It's just, they're saying it's a record number of money spent now on outdoor, with companies doing it and outdoor pursuits. Y'all were early, y'all were way ahead of the game when you used to work at Westerfelt. Come on and just tell folks about that.
We did bow hunting schools. You know, it would last 3 days, or some of them were a week, and you'd come in and take take a class early in the morning after breakfast, and then you go out and hunt, and then you come in, eat lunch, and go back and hunt in the evening, and have a class at night. And we taught people, you know, how to shoot bows and we actually take them out in the field and show them, you know, tracks and where to put stands and all that kind of stuff.
And you were one of the premier instructors. They said they would really enjoy having you up there. I heard you had a reputation and all.
I don't know about that.
I'm serious.
Fred Bear came up there a couple times with us, and Ben Rogers Lee. You know. So we had it was just a tremendous amount of fun and good food, and you know, just great hunting in Alabama up there at Westerville.
Now does that school, do they still do that, or have you kept up with them lately? I don't know.
Dr. Shepard that wrote this book here, you know, he and I did that school, and he was doing one up in Alabama at Bent Creek. He and I did it there for years, and I got out of it, and he was still doing it, but I don't know if Bob still does it or not. But if anybody's interested, I can give him Bob's phone number. We can find out.
Yeah, that was a legendary time as far as when you got Ben Lee there and Fred Bear and Ronnie Groom and all. That was amazing. What was your clientele? Just different people all over the country?
We had one guy that came from Oregon. And I know this guy from Oregon shot a smaller deer than you're supposed to shoot. And he told me, he said, Ronnie, I got a little one. He was from England or somewhere. And I said, it looks like he's got spots on it. But and you obey the law when you go to these places. I mean, if you do something wrong, they get on the phone. In fact, Westerville has their own game wardens.
That's interesting. All right, let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in St. Joe, 7:17 to 9:17 this morning, and tonight 7:39 and 9:39. And speaking of something fun for Christmas, everybody wants a bicycle for Christmas, but some people want a Rambo bicycle.
That Rambo is made for the outdoors and go 20 miles at 20 miles an hour, and that's pretty fast. And it has trailers for you. Coolers, your fishing tackle, and haul a deer on, whatever.
Yeah, that trailer does look good behind, and you could get a deer out, because right now it's evident you can't go very far in the woods without falling trees messing up.
And people's tree stands and feeders are all down and out. But you know, I got in and got a couple of mine cleared out just to get them ready. But I had one shooting house that I haven't seen it. I don't know where it is.
You don't know where it is?
It's gone.
No, are you serious?
It's gone somewhere out there, and it wasn't a real heavy one, it was a lightweight one. But you know, all you got to do is have a little folding camp stool and back up some palmettos. You don't have to get up in a tree. I do about half or 2/3 of my hunting on the ground.
That's true now. You're going to have some natural blinds.
That's
you sure
right.
will. That's a good point.
And the good thing is, if you got a folding stool, you can move that thing so the wind's right on you. You know, you can put it where you want. You're not limited to one spot like a shooting house or something.
Good point for outdoorsmen. What about food plots? What's going on with food plots?
A lot of them are not there this year. It's been so wet, and it's hard to plant, and it's hard to get to your food plots, you know, to plant, and it's hard. But you know, I haven't done anything, and I got a little old plot I plant, and I'm still waiting. I'm going to plant it probably when it dries out a little more, and if nothing else, it'll be good through turkey season. Well, that's close.
That's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, it's going to come up so quick too, so it'll be effective. You know, in a week or two, a couple of weeks, they'll find it, and they're going to be hungry.
Right. Yeah. The deer and squirrels and all. I love to watch the squirrels around my house. There's no trees left, and they're running around there hunting a tree. You know.
Weird, ain't it?
It's strange.
That's the first thing I noticed after the storm was how the squirrels running around. They were just in shock.
Yeah, they don't know where to go.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about hunting while you're here, though, because like I said, the rut here comes in sort of middle of January to on into February and all. So now, like you brought up a good point. I really thought about
time.
I know it. And you can set up your blind now with these fallen trees, like you just said.
That's right. And I've talked to several people. They're seeing deer and they're killing deer. You know, so it's just a matter of get out there, just get on out there and get your chainsaw. But be very careful. I had a buddy got 12 stitches in his leg, you know, from cutting out these trees and everything. You got to be careful of these things. They're extremely dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, and also a lot of people getting stuck in the woods too with the vehicles.
Yes,
There's so much.
Yeah, so you better be careful, especially if you're down around the river down there.
Yeah.
Around all those muddy spots and bad roads and roads underwater. And be careful before you cross these roads and these deep places, because they can be a lot deeper than you think.
Yeah, and this year we always talk about going. I'm bad about this, about going by yourself, and this year really needs some people to go with you. You really need to go because of the situation.
Anytime, you know, especially at mine and your age and everything. But even these kids, everybody needs to go with somebody, or at least somebody knows exactly where you are and how to get to you, and keep your phone on all the time.
And we talk about it, we're taking a boat out, you always file a float plan, but I've always believed in an outdoor plan. Gail always knows about where I'm going to be and about what time I should be home.
If you'll keep a map up there and a spot where you are, people can get to you.
Yeah, and think about it, the safety factor, we just take it for granted now.
Right.
But it's not necessarily there, especially with that nature. We know what nature can do.
What we love can turn into a tragedy right quick if you're not, you know, be very careful.
I'd recommend not really getting up in the trees now, because they're not safe.
And these trees are going to keep falling, some of them.
Yeah, that's true. They're leaning just a little bit, and it's not worth it.
They're cracked, and you know, they'll continue to fall.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're going to start wrapping things up. You got all kind of Christmas gifts down there. Today's Monday, so I'll probably be down there the next day or two and get my little supply. I love going down there, and y'all stay busy?
Yeah, I always do my Christmas shopping Christmas Eve, and you better hunt and fish or you won't get anything.
That's true. And what's your hottest selling item right now?
It's just a mixture, really.
Is it? That's good.
Gift certificates are really good right now, but the items that we went over today, just common things that. And if you don't know, the gift certificate is the thing. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Ronnie, thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate everything you do. As always, thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We always appreciate the viewership. I always ask you to do something good today for your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.